Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2000 edition of Mount Carmel Area Red Tornado Football. Here in beautiful Wyomissing, Pennsylvania at Spartan Stadium, where the Tornadoes have traveled this afternoon to meet the Spartans of Wyomissing across the field there. A couple of things we want to point out to you very quickly here. We are standing about, 50 feet off the ground in a construction platform. Seating is very difficult here. The field is going to be a little hard to see. Heavy rains last night, although the field is in good condition, has made it tough to look at lines and things. There's also a scoreboard problem, which they're working on as we speak. Apparently the scoreboard was struck by lightning during one of the massive storms that went through here last night and during the day, so bear with us a little bit. There is a portable scoreboard up. It's sitting between two pieces of scaffolding across the field, and as soon as we look at that, you'll be able to tell what we're talking about there. But getting back to football now, I'm here, of course, with my man Wayne, and we're looking at something that we haven't seen for a while. We're looking at a new head coach on the sidelines of Big Red. And of course, is Coach Mike Brennan. He will begin today trying to leave his mark on Mount Carmel area football, as had the great coaches before him in this storied program, Wayne.
Well, I'll tell you what, we met Coach Brennan at Supper Club on Thursday night. A great guy, personal, really had some good things to say about the kids, some of the history that he had learned about the program as he was growing up and so on. But he said he just cannot believe the work ethics that he has noticed in this Tornado team as he came in.
Well, and Coach, we look at Coach Brennan. Coach Brennan comes from Nativity, which was his last job. Of course, the Hilltoppers out in Pottsville, not exactly known for their football prowess over the years, but of course gave them some exciting seasons and really had that program turned around as he comes here to Mount Carmel area. Of course, in a very difficult situation as far as improving a team when we went to the state finals, losing in the last couple of seconds out there to Tyrone. So, of course, big shoes to fill if you look at the Williams-Dimnick dynasty that preceded him, of course. But I think he's going to do the job. I agree with you. I met him. He's a very personal guy, disciplined guy. We're going to see a lot of the same things we saw last year, ladies and gentlemen. He did not make a lot of changes. Much of the terminology apparently has remained the same, too. Well, so, the kids don't need to learn it either.
Right. What he said was when he came into the program and had seen everything that was here, one thing that he learned was that all the players knew the terminology already.
Okay, gang, we're going to get ready to tee this thing up and start the 2000 football season. Both these teams taking the field. Wyomissing, a big squad this year. A lot of skilled players, a lot of people we saw in that game last year at the Silver Bowl are back, so we expect a tough, tight game from the Spartans today.
Well, I'll tell you, everything that we have seen with this team is the Tornadoes is going to come true. I think we have some places to fill, Warren, some spots, but we have the key positions already taken care of, and that's the quarterback Dave Shinsky, and of course, we have the All-State, two-time All-State coming back, John Veach.
Yusenchak tees it up. Mount Carmel area will start the game by kicking off, and there it is. It's going to be a short kick heading to the sidelines where it goes out of bounds. And it went out of bounds down around the 30-yard line or so, the way it looks. It's very, very difficult to tell the yard markers today. They're very light, as I said, from the rain, so bear with us. And we're not, although we seem like we're very high off the ground. Yeah, no. We are not that high off to be able to see these things clearly, especially at the far end of the field where we are now. So bear with us. The Spartans will take the ball at the Spartan 35-yard line where they will line up 1st and 10 and start the first offensive series here of the game and the year.
As you see, the defense is not going to change at all. Coach Brennan left in the 5 defense that these kids have been running for years now. So we'll be in our 5-2 with strong safety, Veach being in the back.
O'Hara, the quarterback, brings them up. He's got Tierney. He's the go-to back in the backfield. He's the guy you're going to see the most of. And he passes quickly out to number 24, McCready. Nolan McCready for the Spartans. It is complete, and he gets it up to very close to the, I got to wait until they place it.
Close to the 40-yard line.
40-yard line, exactly. So a 5-yard gain here for the Spartans on their first play from scrimmage, a pass play from O'Hara to McCready. I said Tierney's the guy to watch in the backfield. I just want to watch number 21, Johnson, another guy we had seen from before. We saw him last year. He had a great game against us last year, so keep your eye on him. Right up the middle. The ball popped loose, although not a fumble. Tierney will pick up about 2 yards on the play. Should bring up a 3rd and 3 or 3rd and a long 3, it looks like, for the first down.
Again, the defensive back crew, we've seen a lot of these numbers from last year. It is the line. Some of the line that we see is switched around. Cuff jumps from tackle and nose guard that he played last year. Now he's defensive end. Ziegler's in at defensive end, number 40 also.
Harry hands off to number 26, Boucher, Andrew Boucher. And Boucher's going to very, very close. In fact, he may have gotten the first down, depending where they place the ball. Yes, it's going to be a first down for the Spartans of Wyomissing as he advanced the ball right to the 45-yard line, and that's where he needed to be. It'll bring up 1st and 10, although there's been...
it's 4th down. They're going to bring a 4th down.
He has about about a couple of inches. Yeah. I'm sorry. Again, there's no scoreboard to tell me what it is difficult. They're looking at either. The one in the back is showing time, but it's not showing anything else. So
now they needed 3 yards on that. They ran this.
You got about 2 3/4. It looks like. So. Spartans are going to go for it as O'Hara lines them up. Quarterback sneak. O'Hara keeps the ball. Looks like he's going to pick the first down up, and he does. A gutsy 4th down play, guys, by Coach Wolfram here early in the football game at the 10:41 mark of the first quarter. So, showing some confidence in that offense and his quarterback.
Well, again, it's the safest play. Although it was 4th down, it is the safest play. The ball might be a little wet at this point in time, and with all the rain that we had, and you don't want to take that chance of handing the ball off.
Fumble on the play. It looks like Mount Carmel area is going to come up with it from the way everybody's pointing, and they do. So the fumble on the play, number 50 getting off the bottom of that pile down there, Matt Booker. And the Spartans, after a gutsy 4th down call, now cough the ball up and turn it over in Spartan territory, where the Red Tornadoes will take over 1st and 10 on their first offensive series of this year, 2000.
Well, I'll tell you, in that whole series, you saw the whole center of the line led by Brown, Dave Brown, number 31, the nose guard, making great penetration.
Shinsky hands off to right to Veach immediately. Veach breaks through, picks up about 9 yards on the play. Will bring up a 2nd down and 1 for the Red Tornadoes as they open up right up the middle, right up the gut with, of course, Jonathan Veach. And what else could you want to do when you got the big guy in the backfield like that?
Well, he's your main man. He's coming in. He was 1,800-yard rusher last year. He's your bread and butter man. And, of course, you want to start the new season off with your best man.
Yeah. Shinsky will bring him up. You got Veach in the backfield, and you got number 40, Ziegler, as the fullback. Veach cuts outside. He's picked up the first down and then some as he takes the ball down to about the 33-yard line of the Spartans. Got a Spartan down on the field early here in the game. I can't tell you his number right now, but it looks like he's hurt his knee. We'll wait and see how that turns out. To give us a chance maybe to set some of this Mount Carmel area Red Tornado lineup as we have a timeout on the field, Wayne.
I'll tell you what. The kids this summer really hit the weights, and one of the strongest kids on the whole team is number 54, Randy Swank, and we've heard everything about this kid in the last 3 weeks on his strength, and he's our center. The guards come out to be number 69, Nick Cuff, and 50, Matt Booker. Dave Shoppy, who's coming back from a big injury, he sat out his whole junior year. And he is another one that has really hit the weights and done an excellent job in the offseason. Dave Shoppy, number 55. And we have 63, Tom Bagashinsky, and number 59, Nick Bierster, over on the tackle ends. And the wide receiver is number 2, Josh Clea. Tight end, number 6, Vince Yasenchak. Now, if you remember, Vincey did the linebacking last year. He's back into the linebacking core again this year. And a few times we had seen him as a tight end last year, but more as a blocking back. We thought he'd be coming in as a fullback. Dave Shinsky, the quarterback. Number 40, the fullback, Aaron Ziegler, which we have heard a lot of stuff in preseason on this kid. John Veach. Number 21, Steve Matsura.
Shinsky brings him up. Wide formation. Back to pass, and he's looking at number 21, and just outside of Matsura's fingertips there. It'll bring up third down and bring second down and 10. It's going to be a difficult caller. Not only that, now I can't see the yard markers along the side down there on the far side.
And the other one is number 26, Ron Lentini, is in and out also. So we got some new faces in there, some old ones, but also some new ones, and we're going to be switching some positions as time goes by.
Second and 10 now for the Red Tornadoes. Shinsky brings them up. Puts Matsura in motion, but he hands right to Veach. Veach cuts around the outside, has some room out there, and going to pick up about 7 yards on the play. Should bring up about 3rd and 3 or so when they finally place the ball down there. So Veach running well here to start the game. Of course, Veach in position this year to become the all-time rushing leader in Mount Carmel area history.
Well,
John, that is just sometimes hard to comprehend when you think about who ran that ball before him in this program.
You're right. Zavarik, his brother, Veach, Gary Diminick, his dad. I mean, you're going through a big history here.
I mean, he's really done something in his career here at Big Red. As we pitch out to him now, and he comes around the left side and cuts it up, and he'll have the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 as Big Red continues to move down the field on the Spartans. Leaving the game for the Spartans earlier, as I had talked about, was William Riseborough. He's a 6'2", 285-pound senior defensive back and end, or defensive end and tackle. He switches back and forth, so he's going to be a tough loss if he doesn't get back in the game. And they have him over on a table now. He did suffer a knee injury. That's what they're looking at. Wish the best for him. Right to Ziegler, right at the middle, and Ziegler breaks through the middle and keeps on pounding.
And
there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The first touchdown of the year 2000 for Mount Carmel area as Ziegler pounds the ball over the goal line in a great run by the fullback right up the gut.
I'll tell you what, great plays coming up. We hit Veach all the way on some off-tackle plays, and then all of a sudden we get the misdirection play. We get Veach going in one direction. Now we have Ziegler breaking up. In the 2 preseason games, we had seen Ziegler not carry the ball all that much, but when he did break out, it was always for 15, 20 yards.
Dallas for the extra point attempt, and he has it up and good. So at the 8:18 mark of the first period here in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, it is Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes 7, the Spartans of Wyomissing nothing, and we are about to tee up the kickoff.
Now, one thing you're going to see this year is that Vince Yasenchak, number 6, will be kicking the ball off. The extra points will go to Matt Medalis, who has done an excellent job. We knew he could kick the ball even last year, but you know, he's certainly got the duty this year.
Well, we had Yasenchak, of course, has I guess it was a hip problem or
a hip pointer,
I guess. So they were a little bit leery about letting him kick the extra points. He is kicking off.
It was a hip
probably
flexor.
The stronger of the 2 legs on the kickoff, I would think. But accuracy-wise, I think we look a little bit at Medalis in the accuracy department as far as the field goal and extra points go. But that may change back and forth as the season progresses. Both of them are, as Coach Brennan said, pretty much equal out there as far as kickers go. Yasenchak has it teed up, and he's about to let it rip. This time he puts it straight down the field, number 21, and that will be Roreese Johnson with the ball. Roreese, of course, the guy we saw last year a lot in the game, highly touted when he came in last year. This was a squad that actually made it into the first round of the state playoffs. Last year. I believe they went 7-3 in the regular season, although they took a pasting from us in that first game, 35 points scored against them. So they've got some revenge on their minds, I'm sure. It is the last meeting between these 2 schools. Mount Carmel area and Wyomissing will not meet again. The contract will not be renewed. Mount Carmel area has picked up St. Pius X of Rosetta to fill in their first game for next year. So this will be the last game here. O'Hara back to pass. He's under a lot of pressure, and he's going to go down, and he's going to go down hard. Number 50, Booker, was in there, And I'm trying to see who else. There was somebody else off on the bottom of there that came off, but a big loss for the Spartans on that first down rollout pass play. And it should bring up a second down. And then I'm trying to count the little things here. Second down and what? At least 10. I'll let you know in a minute as soon as I figure out how far back they went. Second down and 17 now for the Spartans as they lost 7 on that pass play. This time number 26 carrying the football for the Spartans, and that's Boucher, Andrew Boucher. He's the other guy we're going to see a lot of in that backfield, and that was a nice play coming out of that wing T. Fooled us a little bit, and he picked up, I guess, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 yards on the play. It should bring up a third down and a long 7 for the Spartans.
Okay, setting up this defense at nose guard, we got 31 Brown, the 2 tackles, 54 Swank, who comes in from the center, and 50 Booker. And the 2 defensive ends are Ziegler, number 40, and 69 Cuff.
Harris changing the play a little bit. Changes his formation slightly and now puts Johnson in motion. Hands off right up the middle, and he is just smashed in the middle. That time Lentini put a pop on him, but he was being held up for the pop down there by Swank, 54,
yeah.
And Booker, the bookends down there. We're holding him up, and Lentini gave him a how do you do and welcome to the big time when he got hit him. So brings up a 4th down here for the Spartans, 4th and 4, and they're in a punting situation with Veach
and Clea
back deep for the Red Tornadoes. Number 12 is in punting position. That's Hartman. Hartman gets off a nice kick, very nice kick, drives it way over the head.
Pick it up.
And it's going to be Clea who picks it up and goes down immediately all the way down at the Mount Carmel area 14-yard line. So a great kick by Hartman. He really stunned it that time, put it right over everybody's head. And obviously we didn't think he could kick it that far. So fooled us a little bit.
He does have a little bit of wind with him. It was not a hide kick, but it was a line.
Hot day today.
Yeah. It was a line drive kick, and it did go over Veach.
Very hot. Not what we had, the way the weather had gone, expected too much. And apparently it's going to end soon, but it managed to hang around for this one day. So it's going to be very hot. Conditioning will become a real question mark as we go into the late third and fourth quarter here today. So whichever team had a good 3 weeks of conditioning is going to show themselves here today. Ball sitting at the 14, and we have, I believe, a timeout, I'm guessing. I'm not sure.
Yes, I think we called a timeout to set some type of offense up. Now, what Coach had said was, his offense that he's going to run again is going to be the power I again, like we've always run, with the slot here or there. He's not going to be as conservative. He's going to open it up. You're going to see some passing a lot of passing over to center. You're going to see a lot going to the tight end, to the wide receiver. He said he believes in utilizing more than one receiver. Now, what that does is it, as everybody knows, it pulls everybody off that line of scrimmage. And again, then you have Ziegler and you got Veach back there running the ball as well as they are.
One thing you want to notice, I don't know if you can see it from the camera angle. The camera angle is very sharp on the side that we're on. But this is a field that has absolutely no sideline to it. I mean, it's got to be one of the shortest sideline fields that we've ever been to. Shinsky lines them up. He's going to hand off to Veach right at the middle. Veach is over the 15, down to about the 18-yard line. Picks up a quick 5 yards for the Tornadoes, and it'll bring up about 2nd and 5 here for Mount Carmel area.
And again, you see some very good blocking. This defense here is lending a very nice scheme for just straight ahead blocking. There's no trying to pick out your man. Is someone going to blitz or whatever? They're head to head with our tackle and our defensive end.
Pass play from Shinsky. He's looking over at number 2, and nice pass that time. Clea had it knocked out as he went up in the air to catch it. A good play that time by Maurice Johnson on the play on the defensive side of the ball. It's going to bring up 3rd now and 5 for the Red Tornadoes, and it's a long 5 for the first down as number 21 back in the backfield, Matsura for Mount Carmel area, and Pilarski leaves.
What Dave Shinsky lends to this offense is his height. all the experience that he did pick up at the end of the season last year, it does give him some poise. But they said the offensive line is giving him as much time as possible.
Shinsky's back to pass. He's looking long. And there he has Clea, who had this time went down for the ball, but much enough for the first down, all the way out to the 30-yard line. And again, Clea had a nice pass play that time. He drove his guy and then turned quick and came back.
Yeah.
And Shinsky hit him right where he needed to be. So, great pass play.
He likes running a hitch play to the outside. It's the hardest play to defend. And take a look at where Dave threw that ball, down around the knees.
Yeah.
And that's where you want that type of pass.
First and 10 as Shinsky hands off. Now to Veach. Veach cuts to the left side, and he's up over the 40 for another first down. Gain of about 11 yards on the play. And Mount Carmel area, at least in this early going here in the first quarter, 4:52 remaining, having its way offensively. They are not, the Spartans are not able to stop us across the line. The line play early here in the season, the line play for the Red Tornadoes, they are dominating the defensive line.
You take a look at that play, Warren. If we run a replay sometime, Matt Booker, the defensive end, definitely thought he had Veach going through. Matt Booker laid him right out on his back on a pull from his guard position.
And off to Ziegler, right up the left side of the line there, and he's going to take it out to the 45-yard line. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the play, bring up a second down and 7 for the Red Tornadoes.
Now, in different game situations here, the defense for Wyomissing, they have a tendency, they pull out their 2 interior linemen and a linebacker, I guess, depending on what they think we are going to run.
Shinsky has Veach in motion now as he looks to pass. Looks downfield. He's got Veach open, and Veach just bobbles it. Number 24 on the pass protection was Nolan McCready, and he had a great breakup of that pass because Veach was in perfect position. It was a great pass. He reached in from the backside and knocked the pass down. So a nice play by McCready that time. Shinsky goes in now with a third down and 7 for the Tornadoes.
I'll tell you what, that was textbook blocking by the line. They had a beautiful pocket around Dave. Dave just stood back. He watched his receivers clear. He saw Veach breaking into the center and took his 2 steps up into the pocket and threw the ball.
Another pass play. This time he hands off inside to Veach. Veach breaks to the outside, still going. Veach is still on his feet all the way to the far sideline.
Nice stiff arm.
He pushes Johnson down with a stiff arm. And he's going to be taken out down around the Wyomissing Spartan 29-yard line. And first and 10 for the Red Tornadoes in what was a nice play by the Red Tornadoes as we looked like we were going to pass. And inside handed off to Veach. He broke to the right side, saw an opening, and went down the right sideline.
Some great blocking down there by Matt Booker on the right-hand side. And number 59, Nick Bierster. Veach got to the line of scrimmage right about the center. He did kick out to the right side, but the great part about that is the running by John Veach. Now, we heard in preseason that John is night and day from what he was last year. He's more of an intense runner this year. He doesn't do much running sideways to try to get open. If he sees a spot that he cannot get through, he tries to run people over to pick up the extra yard.
Well, all I can say about him is that if somehow he thinks he's improved himself from last year,
right.
I will just sit back as normal and marvel because I thought he was pretty good last year. Certainly his style of running, and he has differing styles a little bit in that occasionally you'll see that head go down and he'll try to just knock you over, And what we always compared him to, you compared him to his brother Brett a little bit, where Brett was able to pick and choose a little more. John was always that straight-on guy trying to take it, and I think he thought that in his mind. But when you look at him in tape and stuff, what we do, I don't know if I want to change anything about him. The truth, I mean, he can overpower you, but he can run around you, and those two qualities are very difficult to try to live with if you're the opposing team. First and 10. Shinsky goes back to pass. Plenty of time once again. He has the big guy, number 6, Yasenchak. And Yasenchak took number 24 down there, McCready, and just smashed him as he took the pass.
Now that, I'll tell you what, that type of play for Vince to run is very difficult. You know, a defensive end is never usually over in the middle where you know you're going to get blindsided.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's usually a wide receiver that's going, or a split end, or someone that's doing that job. But he concentrated right to his hands. He caught the ball.
Ball's down on the 2-yard line, and truly, he caught the ball, took a massive hit from McCready, and then in the end of it ended up just leveling McCready as he went for the goal line. And we're going to have a penalty flag here. Mount Carmel area will be called for motion. And we're going to bring the ball back to the 7, and Coach Brennan expresses his, shall we say, concern for that penalty from the sidelines. But a pretty pass play to the big man, and you can see what Yasenchek can do. He truly can wreak havoc when he wants to down in the middle of that field.
That didn't even faze him. I mean, he got hit, and he was stood straight up, and away he went. He just kept on going.
Yeah, he'll give you a pounding and keep going there. Right up the middle of the Veach, cuts over. I have no idea how much he gained until I see the scoreboard is now operational, at least the bottom half of it. And I'll wait to give you an idea where he went. He picked up 6 yards. It's second down and goal from the 1 now for the Red Tornadoes, as Veach is now running wild right now on the Wyomissing Spartans.
I'll tell you, you take a look at that left-hand side of the line, with Dave Shoppy over there and Nick Cuff. Number 54, you got your Yasenchek, and also at this point you got number 31, Dave Brown, in as a blocking back.
Veach again right up the middle, and I'm sorry, not Veach. That would be Ziegler he gave it to.
No, he gave it to, it was Veach.
I'm sorry, Veach. He dropped the ball so quickly when he went over, I didn't see him turn with the ball in his hand. But another touchdown now, 13-0, as we look for the extra point attempt by Medallas. But again, running and passing, a combination here that the Spartans have, at least so far, not been able to solve. Good foot by Medallas. He pops it through for the extra point. 14-0 now in favor of the Red Tornadoes at 1:56 remaining here in the first period of play at Wyomissing Stadium.
Some great line blocking, especially when we get down into the red zone. We see we're utilizing the left-hand side with Shoppy and number 50 Booker and 54 Randy Swank over there on that side. Yeah. And then on top of that, you bring over Yasenchek on the left and you put Brown. You're talking about some of the strongest kids, all the strongest kids and the biggest kids on this team, and you're trying to, get through them to get to John Veach.
Well, the Spartans are going to have their work cut out for them here now as they drop 14-0 here in the first quarter of play. So Carmel area looks like it came out and hasn't missed a beat from last year, to tell you the truth. Again, as we said, Coach Brennan has not made a lot of changes. What he has made is a change in style. Right. And certainly he is imprinting his style on this team. And I'm not comparing styles, nor am I saying one or the other is good or bad. I'm saying he has a different style, and he is certainly showing that with his players and the way he does things on the field and off. This time Dallas kicks off. He gets it deep down there to Maurice Johnson, and Johnson's coming up the field. He has a seam, and Medallas not only kicks it off, but he'll make the tackle on the play, as Johnson would have probably went down the sideline for a score if it wasn't for Medallas, as he found a seam right up the middle. And again, we were not used to seeing a deep a kick as we were that time. Medallas, I believe, kicked it further than the coverage was used to.
I'll tell you,
Johnson a start on it.
That was an excellent kick. That was very good. That's what you want. You want the high kick that you can get your specialty team down on that. And it's just that there was some good blocking by Wyomissing to open up this hole in the middle.
O'Hara will bring him up. He's got Tierney in the backfield along with Johnson. He's got Boucher out to his right in the wing T setup. He goes back to pass very quickly, and he looks right over at number 24, just outside of his hands. That's McCready, Nolan McCready, and that was a nice pass. But Panthers with another new coach and all, it could be another tough year for them. And it's such a program that's been around a while and really plays hard-nosed football. We hope to see them competitive and tough next week. As Shinsky airs it out all the way in the Veach down there, and he just gets ahead of Veach down around the 5-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th down now and forever. About 24, 25 for the first down.
Now Jonathan, they put John in motion, and John was double covered the whole way down. Mansour was over on the right-hand side, and we did have somebody else in the center. I don't know whether it was Kalea or Veach, but it was Kalea, number 2.
We're going to have the first punt of the game here by the Red Tornado. Shinsky back in punt formation, and he's going to be punting down to number 26, Boucher. Good high punt. I mean high. Down around 11-yard line or 10-yard line where Boucher elects to fair catch. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans from their own 10-yard line. We have 3 minutes and 46 seconds remaining here in the first half of play. And the first half has been all red right now. The Spartans not showing much.
I'll tell you, that punt situation right there sort of gives the defense at different positions on the field some thinking to do. Whether Dave Shinsky is going to punt the ball or are they going to fake punt and throw a pass, because we know how deadly he has been so far.
Still got some new faces in there again still as we continue to give some guys some rest here. O'Hara straight back to pass. He looks right over here again at 24, and that's his favorite target, McCready. And McCready just out of his fingertips along the sideline. Nice try. And again, that time a tough catch. He dropped the last one, but this one a tough one. He almost had it though. So that's a play they like also.
Yeah, all their passes have been to the sidelines. You know, if he's going to overthrow, they're going to go out of bounds. We have number 45, Mike Lashinsky, now in at the right linebacker position. Number 29, Damian Buggy. I think he's only a sophomore this year.
Inside handoff, this time to number 26, Boucher. Boucher brings it up over to 15 to about the 16. Will bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Spartans.
Yeah, 26, Ronnie Lentini making the tackle from his strong safety position, and number 29, Damian Buggy.
Well, a little bit different than we had expected. Tierney, 25, was really the guy, the go-to guy in this offense. He has done very little, but he's not carried it very much also. A little bit confused on why he didn't. Now you're looking at actually a new guy on there now, 20, Boyd. As O'Hara goes back to pass, right over the middle. It's
and he dropped it.
Dropped. Number 10 tipped it, Bailey. Number 7, Quillman. And Quillman actually got a little surprised as it hit the ground, but it is incomplete. It did hit the ground as he was going down. And that'll bring up a 4th, I believe.
Yeah, 4th down.
4th down and about a long 5, actually, as the ball's just inside the 16-yard line, and we'll look at Hartman go back and give it another shot. Back for the Red Tornadoes is Clea and Pilarski. They continually have problems bringing enough people here on the punt, and now they must again call timeout because they don't have enough people on their punt team. One guy ran on late, but they're still looking like they're short a guy here somewhere.
No, that's the water boy. That's the water boy running on.
The guy that they're short is now hiding somewhere over there, hoping he doesn't have to go on. And that's your first game problems there. You see it, not able to get enough people on that punt. Apparently, if you remember in the very early part of the first period, they lost a guy, lineman, and I'm guessing he's probably the guy that's might be out there, and the replacement doesn't know to be out there or whatever. So they'll iron that out, and it's going to be a very long Monday for the individual who hasn't made it out there 2 times in a row now.
After the timeout, number 79 did come on for them, and it is a lineman position. So, you're right. You get an injury, and somebody has to step up into that position. That
time, Hartman definitely got it off the side of his foot. That ball's only going to go up to about the 29-yard line. So you're basically looking at a kick of about
12 yards.
Yeah, not too much better than that. 14 yards.
Yeah.
About a 14-yard kick by Hartman. That's not what he wanted to do so deep in his own territory after he boomed a couple there in the beginning of the game. So Mount Carmel area will take over 1st and 10 at the 2:47 mark here of the second period. The ball sitting on the Wyomissing 29-yard line, not what the Spartans need to have happen to them at this juncture of the ball game.
Now again, we're sort of getting some few new legs in there. Not many. We're keeping that same second squad in now that we did since about the middle of the second period here.
Hand off to Ziegler, and Ziegler whacks his way up to the 20-yard line. Just short of the first down. It's going to bring up a second down and less than one.
Less than one.
For the first down. But again, there's Ziegler. Ziegler and Brown are two devastating fullbacks here early in the game.
And the thing about the play that they are running, it's just a straight dive play. These two guys between Brown and Ziegler have nobody in front of them blocking. I mean, this is just you carry the ball, you pick up what you have to pick up, and hope that we block everybody in the back in the linebacking core there.
Give it a measurement there, but it is short. I saw where he put his foot down that it wasn't going to be quite enough. Less than a yard here as we bring up second down and the Red Tornadoes move up to the line of scrimmage. And if anything, folks, and I know this is hard to believe if you're here, but I think it's getting hotter. I mean, it is just unbelievably warm here at Wyomissing this afternoon. Right up the middle.
Again,
Ziegler. He needed about a half a yard. He took it all the way down to the 4. So I think he got the first down and then some.
Boy, we got some great blocking on the left side of that line over there between Shoppy, number 55, and Nick Guff, number 69. I mean, they're just making some holes there for Ziegler, and all Ziegler needs to do is after he gets through the line of scrimmage is watch where they're blocking the linebacker, and he's already into the defensive backfield.
Yeah, the offensive line completely dominating the Spartans right now. Ziegler just having his way. This time it's going to go to Pilarski. Pilarski's going to try to get outside and only gain about a half a yard. The ball was sitting at the 5-yard line. It was 1st and goal from the 5. He gained about a half a yard on the play. Bring up a second down and a long 4 for the touchdown.
Yeah, we put in the power play that time. We got power left. We had Dave Brown in as a blocking back. We had Ziegler in front of Jared Pilarski and blew a hole up in the left-hand side of the line.
Got a minute and 48 remaining here in the minute 35 now remaining here in the second or first half of play. This time we throw a pass right to Medalis. And it's a touchdown, right where it had to be. He was as covered as he could get. I mean, the guy was right where he wanted to be, number 21, Johnson. And Shinsky threw a bullet for the touchdown. It's going to be Mount Carmel area 28 now, anticipating the Medalis extra point. He'll be able to score all the points on this particular play if he puts it through.
They got Nick Berster, number 59, in there. Now we're still missing one more guy.
Now we got to call time.
Yeah.
Special teams are having a bit of a run right now.
Again, on that touchdown to Medalis, that's all a timing pass. We set up, we came back with the same type of play. The setup was, again, looking like it was going to the left on that power run play with Brown and Ziegler leading the way. And all Medalis did was he strung his defensive out further to the flag on the right-hand side here, giving Dave Shinsky a better angle to throw the ball. And all Medalis had to do was just cut to the inside. And it's just a timing pass. You get past that goal line, you're looking for the ball automatically.
Yeah, it looks a lot easier than it really is.
Oh, you're right.
There's a lot of things that are happening there to make that play go. And you're right. It's Medalis' positioning, where he makes the cut from, where he turns in at, where he lined up at. There's a whole lot of things that go there involved. And again, you could not be as well covered as he was.
I know.
Johnson was all over him. You couldn't say to Johnson in the films on Monday, here's what you should have done. You were doing all you could do. That's what I want you to do, and he still hit him. So.
Yeah. And the thing is, Dave Shinsky is right on the money with that ball, whether it's a timing pattern or a little fly pattern or whatever.
Shinsky will tee it up. Medallis will try for the extra. And that one he's going to miss. Looking for a flag, but there won't be any on that, and that's going to be the first bad kick of the game for Medallis to get a chance to get all the points. He didn't want them, I guess.
Hey, spread them out.
6 on that one.
Yeah, but don't forget now, he threw for the last one.
That's true, too. Yeah, he got 2 on that last one.
The 2, so you figured that will take that back
that
now?
That evened out on him.
Yeah.
So at the 1:26 mark here of the second quarter of play at the Spartan Stadium here in Wyomissing, Mount Carmel area now out to a 28-0 lead over the Spartans. And everybody right now, if they're human beings, are saying, gotta be halftime soon. Because I think I may have just disappeared somehow. Just excruciatingly hot. A lot of liquids being down today.
Oh, God, yeah. Thank God they have water instead of just soda. We got number 32, Ben Hynoski over there on the end. Number 3, I see John Dara. Trying to get some new names in here. 58, Steve Polifka.
Drops it in there on him a little bit and surprised him. Number 10, and number 10 picked the ball up, Bailey, and I mean, truthfully, had Bailey had his head up,
yeah,
he would have seen a clear path to the goal line, but he had his head down, and by the time he got turned around and going in the right direction, he was tackled. But
48, Pete Kulik tackled him, made the tackle on that play.
Had he been paying attention and cut to the sideline, he may have gone all the way down. That kick surprised both them and us. So they'll start with the ball sitting about their own 48-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans. As O'Hara brings them up. He goes back to pass immediately, lobs one over. He's looking again in the direction of number 24, the guy that he's looked for consistently. That's McCready. McCready is not only his favorite receiver, McCready is his only receiver so far here in the first half at least.
And there's nothing complicated about their pass patterns. Their pass pattern is only a little flare out to the sidelines, and he's thrown it as a timing to let the guy run underneath it.
Again, O'Hara back to pass a short one this time.
Oh, almost.
Right at Clea, and Clea just was almost able to get it off the ground there. It was very low.
Low, and it was a bullet. Usually, it's something like that. You have to throw over Clea's head or over the defender's head. Yeah. Usually it's not a bullet like that.
Of course, he was aiming at who else? McCready again. Take McCready out of there. I think he's in trouble right now. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 now for the Spartans, as their passing game has not been as accurate as they had hoped, at least so far here in the first half.
Number 66, the right tackle, Brandon Brown is in.
We're going to end around to Johnson, and Johnson is stopped by Ziegler. Immediately, he gains no yards. It'll bring up 4th and 10, and the Spartans again will punt, and hopefully they're all saying to themselves, we all went out, the whole team went out there to punt, because I don't think they have any more timeouts if they didn't. And they're feverishly counting just to be sure.
So we still have Burster and number 56 in, and we have number 45 Mike Lashinsky still in at defensive backs, and they're being told to make sure that they punt the ball.
He lets it rip, and this time he got another good one off. It's picked up by Avellino that time. Avellino new to the game right there. He's picked up a couple of yards, and he'll end up putting the ball down anywhere.
On the field someplace.
I have no clue where the ball went down at. 30, 20. It's got to be around the 20-yard line or so, but I would only be venturing a guess because I can't see any yard markers at all from this vantage point. So Red Tornadoes will take over 1st and 10, and we're going to start seeing some new players in and out of the game. We'll try to keep you abreast of all of the changes in the Tornado lineup as we get close to halftime. There are 27 seconds left here in the second period. Shinsky brings up, he has Pilarski in back of him and Brown in front. Brown with the ball, and Brown pounds his way out for a 1st down. definitely past the first down marker, and now I would say he's up to about the 25-yard line. That's exactly where he made it to. So they had actually spotted the ball somewhere down around the 15 on the kickoff. So
I think they're just going to let
again.
First and 10. They're just going to let the clock run out here.
7 seconds, 6 seconds, and we'll be moving into halftime. And as we near the end of this first half, it is Mount Carmel Area Red Tornadoes 28 and the Wyomissing Spartans 0. We'll be back with halftime stats in a moment. Stay with us. Okay, gang, we're back here. Start of the second half here. If anything, it's gotten hotter. I hate to tell you that. There's a lot of people laying in the back in the shade underneath the big tree back here. But we have the halftime stats, and I'm sure, Wayne, they're going to reflect what type of game it really was here in the first half for the Red Tornadoes.
Well, when we were talking to Jose, it's like he said, it sounded like it felt like that first quarter was a game and a half. And he said we ran off 35 plays, which is unusual, in the first quarter. Mount Carmel in the rushing end of it, 27 for 190 yards. Veach, 16 for 125 yards already in the first half, and he sat out most of the second quarter. Ziegler, 5 for 49. Brown, 3 for 23. Hynoski, 1 for -1. Shinsky, 1 for -8. And Pilarski, 1 for -1. In the passing end of it, Dave Shinsky's 5 of 10 for 92 yards. Kalea, 2 for 51. Medalis, 1 for 4 with the touchdown. Matsura, 1 for 12. And Yasenchak, 1 for 25. First downs, Tornadoes have 14. Wyomissing on the other side of the field, 10 for 20 yards in the rushing department, passing 2 of 14 for 10 yards and only 1 first down. So you can see exactly what our defense is doing to Wyomissing Spartans.
Shinsky takes over at the Mount Carmel 34-yard line. He quickly hands to Veach, who brings it up over the 35 out to the 37-yard line. On the kickoff, I do want to quickly tell you that it was brought up by Lashinsky. Number 45 caught the kickoff from Hartman and put us in position at the 34. The ball now sitting at the 37. And Mount Carmel area is still pounding it out there. Brings up a second down and 2 on the 8-yard carry by Veach. So really, overall, the Spartans really not able to stop us. Defensively, they have not been able to do much on the defensive side of the ball, and offensively showing almost nothing.
Right.
The wing T in kind of desperate shape in that they have to try to play catch-up, not what they do very well. That's going to go as an offside penalty. Big number 57, Michael Schweitzer, probably got off into the neutral zone. He maybe even touched somebody. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, and that's enough for the first down, so the Red Tornadoes will pick up a first down on the penalty call and bring the ball up to the Mount Carmel area 42-yard line, where they'll start fresh at 1st and 10.
Now we see, coming in the second half here, we have number 42. He didn't play too much offense in the first half, starting the game off. He's in the slot position. That's Jared Pilarski.
Hands off to Veach. Veach is going to be stopped pretty well that time, although he does struggle his way out almost to the 40-yard line. Probably going to mark it at the 39 for a gain of a couple yards, bringing up 2nd down and 8 for the Red Tornadoes. Tierney in there on the tackle. One of the things, and I know we're kidding about the heat here, but ladies and gentlemen, truly, if you're not here and you watch this on a Wednesday, the heat is becoming a factor in that it's becoming a dangerous factor.
Yeah.
It is that hot right now and that humid that it is really tough to function and even just to sit here and watch a game, let alone to play it. Shinsky looks over and he sees Lantini, number 26. Lantini will take it out of bounds somewhere about the 42-yard line, where it's going to bring up a 3rd down now and about 6.
That was just a short play. You think we were trying to pick up a little bit more than that. Try to get down towards the first down marker. Lantini just went out about 2 yards and Dave hit him, although covered very well where the tackle was made as soon as he caught the ball.
Shinsky back to pass, plenty of time. He looks over for Clea, and Clea takes it, makes a nice move, tucks the ball away, and cuts around the left side, and now it's a foot race as number 24, McCready, takes him out of bounds, but not before he gets down to about the 20-yard line of the Spartans, and a big play once again between Shinsky and Clea.
Yeah, Clea just did a hook pattern right in the middle of the field, but now we know from last year, boy, how Clea's hands are just like they have glue on them and everything sticks, and he made a beautiful catch. But the impressive part now is that after Clea catches the ball, he's turning upfield, and you can see a little hitch step in what he's doing there. And as he does that little hitch step, that little pause, he's watching what the defender is doing, and he's cutting in the opposite direction.
1st and 10. Hands off to Veach, and Veach
Look
right
at
up
that
the middle.
hole. Look at that.
Cuts to the right side, ladies and gentlemen. It's a touchdown. Mount Carmel area here in the first offensive series of the second half. Mount Carmel area now 34. And the Spartans of Wyomissing nothing, and that happened at the 9:54 mark, ladies and gentlemen, of the third period. So Mount Carmel area strikes almost instantly.
Yeah, you can see the center of that line, and that, the true interior part of that line, starting from tackle to tackle. Number 55, Dave Shoppy, 69, Nick Cuff, Randy Swank in there, Matt Booker, number 50, and Nick Bierster, 59.
Dallas puts it up, and it is good. It's not
no
good. How could that not be good?
He's standing right under the upright.
Well, I beg to differ. So at the 9:54 mark here in the third quarter of play, it's Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes 34, the Wyomissing Spartans 0, and the kickoff to follow. Again, Big Red, very, very impressive here in the first game of the season. Wayne, we had heard about them and talked about them through the scrimmages and seen what was going on there. They had 2 strong scrimmages. Coach Brennan was very happy with the scrimmages. The guys in the truck disagreed with me over that point, so I'm counting it from here on in. It's 35, then the heck with it.
Well, that's what I always said about you. You're never wrong.
No, well, that's the good part about being me.
Yeah.
And as long as I don't check with anybody else, I'm okay.
But you're right. You take a look at that center of that line there. John didn't have to do much but watch the downfield blocking, 5, 6, 7 yards downfield. There was a hole there that there was nobody there within 3 positions.
And Dallas kicks it off. Nice kickoff. Going down to Johnson, number 21. He'll pick it up, come straight up. Hurdles over the top there, and he's going to be brought down by number 26, Ronnie Lantini for the Red Tornadoes. Avellino also on the stop.
And 58, Steve Polifka, number 58, was in on it too.
So we had a couple of guys in there. Ball sitting down about the 31-yard line of the Spartans, where they'll take over 1st and 10. O'Hara will bring them up. And again, not to belabor it, but a wing T offense is in a very tough position right now to try to come back from 34 points down.
Yeah. Now it seems like we're back in our normal defense. The only thing is our free safety is number 1, Matt Medalis, rather than John Veach.
Handoff is to Johnson, and Johnson breaks clear. And here's a kid with speed, but he's going to be brought down. Clea saves the touchdown at the Mount Carmel area 34-yard line, where Johnson is brought down. And we had said, we had seen Johnson last year. He was a big threat. He was the guy you wanted to watch. He got himself a little crease there, and big yardage and a big pickup. It's 1st and 10 for the Spartans in their deepest penetration into Mount Carmel territory of the game at the 34-yard line.
But, as you said earlier, we haven't seen much of this kid in the first half. He didn't touch the ball very much.
Tierney lines up in the backfield again in that wing T as the primary back, but it could go to anybody depending on the motion. And we're going to have an offside penalty, and Big Red, I believe, will be called for offside. They went with that first call, and O'Hara was able to draw them off, so it looks like another 5 yards will be tacked on, which should put the ball down around the Mount Carmel area 29-yard line. And the Spartans are on their biggest threat here of the day.
You get a little anxious. You get, the offensive team picks up some yardage on your defensive team here, and you get a little upset and you get a little anxious. You want to make a better play, and it was a good cadence call. And he did get about 3 players offline.
A breeze just blew by, but it was a hot one. O'Hara puts Johnson in motion, but he sends Tierney up the middle, and Tierney will pick up about 3 yards or so. He brings it down to the Mount Carmel area 26-yard line. Picked up about 3. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 2.
Again, Dave Shoppy in there making a tackle. Brown assisting. You know, here you got guys going. And people just don't realize this is the first game. The first few games you want to play at night where it's nice and cool. You don't exert so much energy, and you know, you're talking about Shoppy and Booker and all these guys. Swank playing both ways, both offense and defense.
Inside handoff to Johnson again, and Johnson's going to pick the first down up. Going to be stopped and around the Mount Carmel area 22-yard line. That's good enough for the first. It'll be 1st and 10 Spartans at the 22. One thing we want to take a moment to mention about Shoppy, of course, we talked about some other kids over the years, you know, and talked about O'Brien, I guess, over the years.
Right.
The Shinsky boy had some problems there. Shoppy suffering a serious knee injury last year. Right at the beginning of the year, missed the entire year. And here he's back. You see, he wears a brace. They watch his knee and monitor it constantly, but back playing again. And you can never say enough good things about a kid who's willing to do that, the kind of courage. And that's a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen, in a beautiful pass and a beautiful catch. Down there by number 24, his favorite target, McCready, finally hit him.
Finally.
And that was just a picture-perfect pass. Clea on the coverage, and Clea had good coverage on him.
Yes,
he just
did.
threw it very well.
The thing about the whole pass is when you're looking at that, you wonder if it's ever going to make it.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have much on it. He just lays it out there, and of course, Creedy had to dive for it again.
They will line up for the extra point attempt, and as they have been all year, all game, they line up short. So
76.
they know where their work is going to be next week. It's going to be on who's on what team around here. But number 24, McCready, now back to try the extra point. It's an offside, and I'm not sure who they're going to call this on, although it looked like Mount Carmel.
Yeah, we were in the zone. There were two of us in there.
So if it is, it'll move it back 1 yard, and McCready will just have a yard shorter to kick it. And it is, so it'll be a 1 yard attempt for the extra point by Mr. McCready. Mount Carmel area looking a little more ragged here in the second half than they did in the first half, penalty-wise and play-wise, but it's only natural for that to happen with a big point spread like they have. So I think we'll finally make an attempt here now after a couple of false ones, and we get it up, and it looks like it's going to be good. So at the 7:42 mark of the third period, it is now Mount Carmel area 34, the Spartans of Wyomissing denting the scoreboard at 7.
Well, if anything, you know, those people that are scouting the Tornadoes, of course, you know, there's not too much that has happened up to this, you know, in this point in the third quarter, in fact, in the first half, especially up the middle of our line. Again, you know, those guys, it seems like year after year, you and I talk about the core of this Tornado defense and how stiff they get at times, and nobody can do anything for them.
Wyomissing has one of the most interesting field houses I've ever seen. It looks like a church. It's a converted building of some type. It sits over on the far side of the property here, but I don't know if we had any pictures of that at all since we've been here, but really interesting way to look at a field house. I don't know what it was at first, but it's a pretty neat one. We haven't seen one like that ever.
It's a beautiful area. I mean, you know, the
really
grounds are really nice. The school looks nice, everything, but you know, they mustn't bring much of a crowd to any football game other than what we brought.
Hartman kicks it off. Low line driver goes right through Clea's legs. It'll be picked up by
Ben
number 32,
Hynoski.
and Hynoski will be put down at the 10-yard line. Again, you don't want the ball to go past it like that, and that's what it did. So we're going to have poor field position to start off here. He's 1st and 10, the ball sitting squarely on the 10-yard line as Big Red comes out to start the offensive series.
I just think the heat is starting to get to you a little bit. You know, you get a little complacent.
It's starting to get to me.
Oh.
The back of my head's number than it was to start off with. Yes, I'm not kidding you. You look right now like a girl I used to date.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. I think I'm hallucinating. I won't mention her name, not to insult her. Shinsky brings him down. He flips out to Veach coming over the left side. Veach cuts it back, and he's going to pick up about just about 4 yards. Bring up a 2nd down and 6 for the Red Tornadoes. A long 4 yards he picked up. So Big Red going to grind it out a little bit here, I'm sure. They have a comfortable lead. A little more than 7 minutes left here in the third period. And as Wayne said, and we have said, we cannot emphasize enough that this might be one of the hottest football games we've ever been at as far as heat and humidity goes. It's really taken its toll on both the team and just people sitting in the stands. It's really tough. A lot of people have moved under the trees again to try to get some shade. Strings it out. Veach makes
nice
the cut.
Blocking.
Nice play.
He's down.
Down right at the 35-yard line where the ball squared loose when he hit the ground, but big pickup once again by Veach. Tierney brought him down from the Spartans, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes as Veach continues to churn yardage up here.
It was just beautiful to watch the lead blockers there. There were 2 of them in front of Veach. Veach was right in the middle.
Here he comes. You can see him on the instant replay.
On the instant replay there. And you saw the 2 blockers just split the 2 defenders right out and gave John a seam to run through.
Well, we've had our first fan go down here in the heat. They're bringing rescue personnel. They're trying to pack ice around. It's a woman, I believe. Again, the heat is really beginning to take its toll. Shinsky back to pass. He's under pressure now from number 10. Gets it out to 25, Veach, and a little high and hard for him to handle, but really a play that took a little too long to get rolling is what happened.
Well, I think they were sort of looking for Lentini downfield. He was about 15 yards, but number 25 for the Spartans was all over Lentini, sort of holding a little bit. Lentini couldn't hook and come back towards the ball as easily as Clea and the rest of them were doing. Sort of got mauled on that play, and of course Dave Shinsky had to just dump the ball off to someone else.
It's 2nd down and 10 now for the Red Tornadoes. Ball still sitting on the 35-yard line of Big Red as Shinsky gets ready. He hands off and fumbles, and it's a Wyomissing recovery. He just missed. He was trying to get to Ziegler.
Yeah, it was an inside handoff on that one. Shinsky was going to the right, and it's just a miscue there, and the ball just popped out.
Mike Schweitzer, 57 from the Wyomissing Spartans, fell on it, and it's a Wyomissing ball at the Mount Carmel area 34-yard line.
Looks like we called it referee's timeout here. They're giving the kids some water on the field.
I noticed that in the first half. I wasn't sure what was happening at first because I hadn't seen that. But, yeah, what they're doing at the changeover of possessions, and occasionally it's not a team timeout.
No.
What you're seeing are the referees are calling for liquids.
For the teams and for themselves.
To make sure they're drinking. And, of course, every one of the referees down there is also drinking water because it's really beginning to take its toll. We've said it over and over, but this is not conditions that we're used to. I mean, I guess playing at night as much as we do, we don't see this very often. But I think the humidity more than anything is what's really starting to add to the toll here right now. You can cut it with a knife as we sit here, and you can see people. Many have left the stands already and are trying to find the shade under. There's some trees around and things like that they're aiming
I would like to see what the average weight loss is for the whole team after this football game.
Well, I know I lost 27 pounds in the first half.
Well, 13 was on your ears with the headphones on.
My ears are much smaller now.
Okay.
O'Hara brings him up. He pitches out to Johnson, trying to get Johnson out. And Johnson's brought down hard, and that's Lentini, 26. And
Booker hooked him, though. Booker came up and hooked him around the shoulder pads, and Lentini just waylaid him.
That was cow wrestling down there. That was bringing him down the hard way. Picked up only about 1 yard that time, and they're trying to get Johnson, it looks like, more involved in the game here. Johnson is the guy with the speed. Tierney is more of a universal back, but Johnson is the guy with the speed. He's the guy that can make it happen, as you saw earlier. This time it's Boucher, 26, trying to get around the end. He'll pick up a few yards. He's going to take the ball down to the Mount Carmel area 34-yard line, where it's going to bring up a 3rd down, about 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, number 1, Matt Medalis, he's playing as free safety back there. And he came up and took number 78 that you had talked about this whole time for the Spartans, Brian Shoup. He was the pulling tackle, and Medalis had taken him on, and what that did was force the runner back into the middle of the field where the tackle was made. Medalis did an excellent job there.
Mount Carmel area almost offside that time. The ball is complete out to number 24. McCready, truly the only guy we throw the ball to here in this offense. But he caught it down along the Mount Carmel area, or the Mount Carmel area, about the 24.5-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th down, though. 4th down and about 2 for the first down. So the Spartans have an interesting play to call here. They have not gained a lot on the ground.
No, and that pass play, he could have gotten past it. If he was watching where he was supposed to go, he could have gotten past the first down marker there.
Handoff's going to be to Johnson.
Oh, Ziegler,
Johnson
nice
turns
play.
the other way, and he's going to make it. He's going to, in fact, he may go all the way as Johnson made a great adjustment, and he's in. That's what Rory Johnson brings to this team, ladies and gentlemen. That play was Ziegler stopped that play dead.
Yes, he did.
He had penetrated so far that there was nowhere to go, and all he did was just turn completely around and run the other way, and there you have a touchdown. Mount Carmel area now got to be somewhat concerned, though, as they've come out really flat compared to what they did here in the first half, and now 2 quick touchdowns in the third quarter for the Wyomissing Spartans as they go, as the score now 34-13, and we're looking at McCready to make the extra point, which he does. Now 34-14, there are 3 minutes and 46 seconds remaining here in the ball game, in the third quarter, I'm sorry. And the Wyomissing Spartans have started to show some spark.
Yeah. I don't know whether you know, a little bit well rested or more rested than what we are, but yeah, they did come out. They showed a little bit. Although on a play like that, you know, what can you say? Your defense did exactly what they were supposed to do. It was just that we did not pick up the backside, the weak side of that play to stop that end run.
So the game gets more interesting here as we go. Again, 3 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the third period of play. Spartans are preparing to kick off to the Red Tornadoes. 3 men deep now for the Red Tornadoes, Klea, Veach, and Pilarski. I'm sorry, not Veach. Veach is not in there. It's number 32, Hynoski. I'm sorry. Hynoski in the middle of that threesome down there.
And you haven't seen John on defense either in the free safety position. Right. So he was a little weary after in the first half there. The heat was starting, and I'm sure it's getting to most of the team.
Short kick. In fact, it's a squib kick trying for the fumble that time, but Dillo alertly on the ball, and Dillo saved the.
We remember seeing that in the championship game. If you remember, Aaron Ziegler. Yeah. It was just a short hop there, and the kicking team just passed him right out, and he took the ball down for a touchdown.
So Big Red will take over. The ball sitting right at midfield, the 50-yard line stripe, where it's 1st and 10. Nishinsky brings him up. Ziegler in the fullback position, Veach in that tailback. He runs Kirpich in motion, but hands off directly into the middle of Ziegler, and Ziegler just whacks his way down. Picks up about 8 yards, should bring up a 2nd down and 2 for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, and this is all they need to do right now. For the rest of the game is they need to, just grind it out. There's 5 yards, 6 yards on Ziegler, 8 yards, I'm sorry, on Ziegler on the first carry, and it sort of opens up your playbook a little bit more.
Oop, that's an offside penalty. Big Red will march back 5 yards, and now it's going to bring up more like a 2nd and 7 instead of 2nd and 2 that it was. Veach on the handoff, right up the middle of Veach. Still going to the outside now. Veach will pick up the first down, pick up of about 8 on the play, so it'll be 1st and 10, Big Red, as John just continues to churn yardage up. He is unstoppable inside and out.
Yeah.
He does the same thing. He hits the middle there, and then he looks to see which side he's going to make the cut to head for the sideline, and picking up big yardage each time.
And the great thing about it, we talked about that line with Randy Swank and Matt Booker and Nick Bierster on that right-hand side. But then also you got John Kirpich coming down for a downfield block that does release Veach to kick out to the outside.
Looking long now, looking for Clea. Got him, and Clea's going to bring it down at the 10-yard line. Nice play again. Clea followed it all the way in, got right at the edge of the sideline where he brought it in and made sure he got in, inside. Beat Johnson on the play. Johnson was following him, but not close enough to do anything. So it's first and 10, first and goal from the 10.
Clea and Dave Shinsky had a lot of sideline to work with there. Mm-hmm. From the hash mark over, it gave Clea a lot of room to run underneath the ball.
First and goal from the 10. The big tight end moves over. And we hand it right to Veach, who cuts up where the tight end was blocking. Yasenchak opened a nice hole there, and he takes the ball down to about the 5-yard line. I believe it'll be second and goal from the 5 when they finally place it just outside the 5. I got to wait for them to signal this because I have no clue. Yeah, I'm right, on the 5.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. You look at that hole. It's great about where we're at and being so high up here. Is you see that what the line is doing, and I just love to watch the line play and how they cross block and everything else, and open up those holes for the running backs.
Shinsky sets him up, hands off to Veach, who cuts around the left side. He's going to go for no gain on this one. They were stacking him right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up a third and goal still from about the 5. They're going to give him a yard on the play, so they set the ball down about the 4, just inside the 5. Brings up third down and say a long 4 for the touchdown for the Big Red. Spreads Lantini and Kirpich far, a fumble, or at least a miss. Shinsky had the ball.
Had the ball, and he picked up.
Not sure what we did there.
Picked up some yardage. He's going to be close.
Looking to see if we put a replay on here or not. I didn't see exactly what happened there.
Yeah, see, he's very close to the first down.
So they're going to measure, right? Is that what
right.
they thought?
They're going to measure right now
to see if he made it.
And I think what Dave was doing is trying to stretch out to pick up that first down on a heads-up play there.
Trying to watch the monitor here. That's the best way we have of telling. And first down, he got it. That was a great play. Although I wish I could explain it a little better than it was. But it's now first and goal from inside the 1-yard line for the Red Tornadoes with 41 seconds remaining here in the third period of play. They bring the bruiser in, Brown.
Oh, boy.
he's wandering in there thinking, okay, let me hit somebody somewhere.
Yeah, look at number 10 over there thinking, oh, God, are they going to run up my direction again?
So we bring double fullbacks, split them behind Shinsky, the two big men. But Shinsky goes in on a quarterback sneak, use the two big guys just as a decoy. And it's a Mount Carmel area touchdown. So it's now Mount Carmel area 41 and the Spartans 14. I'm sorry, 40. It was only 34.
You're still counting that.
I'm sorry, I'm counting that one. So, but it is 40-14 on this scoreboard, not on mine. As Matt Medalis will come in here to try to kick the extra point. Shinsky puts it down. We definitely didn't make that one.
Wide right.
I'm pretty sure on that one that we didn't have to make a call there. So with 12 seconds remaining here in the third period of play, it is now Mount Carmel area 40 and the Spartans of Wyomissing 14 with Medalis set to kick off to the Spartans.
As you look over on our sidelines, you see the whole coaching staff over here has their white shirts on. And just to run down the staff, since it slightly has changed, Coach Brennan has kept a core of people there from last year. Of course, we have Brennan as the head coach. Paul Babinski comes in, Ryan Geary, Mike Kogut, Rick Painter, Rob Verano, Robert Veach, the freshman coaches who are down on the field helping out, Chris Matruzak, Bob Chicatano, and we have a volunteer assistant, Jeremy Wynn.
Of course, Painter, really the new guy. Well, as soon as we're finished this kickoff, as Dallas pops it down, again going right to 21 Johnson. He's their main shot there. He comes right out the middle, and Dallas again forced to make the tackle. That's the second time in a row the kicker had to stop Johnson as he moved upfield.
And that's what he's supposed to do. Dallas is supposed to sort of like back a little bit, just watching what direction the runner is going and try to either pin him on towards the sideline or make the tackle in the center of the field.
Getting back to Painter, of course, Painter, the really new addition to this staff. Painter came with Coach Brennan. Painter, a longtime quarterback at Pottsville. He's the quarterback coach and helps with the offense. Babinski, of course, you remember, was here before under Coach Williams. So he's not new, he just returned. Up the middle in that wing T offense, handed the ball off to Bauscher. Bauscher did some nice running that time, picked up about 7 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 3 for the Spartans. But a staff that as you're emphasizing, is seasoned. They knew the kids. There wasn't a big turnover of guys on the staff. So it made it a little bit easier to make the transition. Of course, we asked some of the kids at Supper Club it's actually the end of the third quarter while we're watching this with the score 40-14 Mount Carmel area. But talked to some of the kids at the Supper Club about what it meant, especially to the seniors. They were in a program with Coach Williams, and now all of a sudden, boom, in their last year, they get a new coach, and they really had nothing but great things to say. Coach Brennan, of course, a very personable guy when you meet him. I had first met him on Thursday, and my impression of him could not have been better. Personal guy, a great guy to be around, a presence. He brings a presence to the program, truly, just by his sheer physical presence and by the way he spoke, and really kind of wowed the Supper Club. And Supper Club was at packed capacity. We had a great crowd to start the season off. I was really happy to see that. Now, we ask everybody to remember to come on down there. If you haven't met Coach Brennan, come on down there. That's a real informal way to meet him. He moved around the room and shook hands and did all kinds of things that you want to see a guy do, and really gave us a good talk about what we were going to look for this year, what we should expect from the Spartans here at Wyomissing. Ran that down pretty good for us. So nothing but good things to say. Truly is a great guy to talk with. So.
And you have to, like you said, he knew what he was coming into. He said that to us. He told us that he knew that this team was going to be a good team. There were some positions to be filled, so there was not much changing he wanted to do. He said he wanted to keep the coaching staff here because these kids knew the coaching staff for so many years.
It was a good experience. I invite all of you to Supper Club every Thursday night at 6:15 in Matucci's. Come on down and visit with us. Hand off to Tierney, one of the few that Tierney's seen, and Tierney kind of picks his way through the center. He'll pick up enough for the first down, bringing the ball up to the Spartans' 49-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans.
Okay, we're making some changes here, so please be patient with us. Don't get mad at us. We're trying the best we can, but we got number 29 again, Damian Buggy, in. Number 61, Jared Owens is a new name we didn't see. He's in at nose guard at this time for Dave Brown.
This is going to go to Roreese Johnson, and he's going to be brought down by Matsura, 21 from his linebacker position. He smelled that play out. They're going to lose a yard or two on that play where they place it down. That was a nice play by Matsura. Shot the gap, saw it. It was a loss of 2. It'll bring up a 2nd and 12 for the Spartans here in the 4th period.
Number 45, Mike Lashinsky, is back in at the linebacker position again, giving Vince Usenchak a rest.
O'Hara's going to go back to pass now. He gets some pressure.
Oh, nice. Damian Buggy.
And then
excellent.
Number 50, the big guy, Matt, but Damian Buggy reached over that block and got a hold of O'Hara and turned him around. And once he got O'Hara turned around, Booker finished him off. But nice play by number 29, just fresh into the ball game.
Yeah, a great play, and he was being blocked out, and the quarterback was just ready to step up and throw the ball, and He did. He jumped up in the air and reached over and grabbed his shoulder pad a little bit and just twisted the quarterback.
It's a 3rd and 16 now for the Spartans as they've lost yardage on 2 consecutive plays. He's heading out to McCready, number 24. Again, that's kind of a touch pass, wing it in the right direction. Hope McCready can run under it. He couldn't. He was covered very well down there by Justin Dillo, 85. And they'll bring up a punting situation for the Spartans as they marched kind of backwards on that offensive series. Weren't able to do much. So we'll bring Hartman in here to kick, and he's had some excellent kicks and some odd kicks. So we'll see which one he picks for this one. And back deep for us, of course, is number 42, Pilarski, and alongside him, number 2, Clea. Ball's going to bounce in front of Clea where he's going to, I think, let it go. I'm not sure if he touched it or not. He was close to it if he didn't. Ball's going to be down by 26, Boucher, and it's going to be 11-yard line is where it looks like it's going to be set down at, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Big Red.
I think Josh was hoping for the bounce coming up, and the ball it hugged the ground and stayed very low on him. And thank goodness it did scoot underneath his hands where he didn't touch the ball.
Yeah, it looked dangerous there for a second, like he had touched it. And even he, for a second, looked like he had a sense of urgency there for a minute. but thankfully, I guess he didn't. Maybe worried there for at least a half a second as he turned around and kind of looked like he was running for it. So Shinsky will bring him up. It's down on the 11-yard line where they'll start 1st and 10. Veach and Ziegler in the backfield, and he brings Pilarski in motion. He's going to pitch it back to Veach with the big guys out there. Veach has plenty of room now as he picks his way through the crowd. And he takes the ball all the way up to about the 20-yard line. Should be a gain of about 9. Bring it up 2nd down and 1 for the Red Tornadoes.
What presence he has. You watch him when he's running, especially that play, what's going on the field, because he's looking downfield straight ahead, but also he's dodging. You watch his left hand. He's carrying the ball in his right hand as he's going down the field. He's brushing his own blockers away from him and jumping behind them. So he just has such great presence of what's going on the whole field.
Line up, same formation, only have double fullbacks now. You got Ziegler on one side and Brown. He hands it to Veach, who goes the other way, and he's over the 20. I'm not sure if he picked the 1st down up or not, to tell you the truth. He went opposite of the way the 2 fullbacks blocked.
Yeah, he saw an opening there, and he did slip. That wasn't even a tackle. He was trying to make a cut back to the right-hand side, and he definitely would have picked up the 1st down, but his feet gave out from underneath him.
That brings us up a 3rd and 1 again here for the Red Tornadoes. Taking their time now, just hoping to run the clock off and hoping the bus has air conditioning, I'm sure, because this day isn't getting any better as it goes on. This time, I would say, we give it back to Veach, and he didn't get it. No. He really didn't get it. He ran right into the teeth. That time, a 57 for the Spartans. That's Michael Schweitzer. Called his name a few times this year, or this game too. Schweitzer stops Veach short. In fact, Veach may have lost the yard on. He'll bring up a 4th and 2. And I believe we're going to punt it, although we look like we were thinking about it for a minute.
No, I think it's longer than 2, to tell you the truth. It looks like almost 4.
No, 4, you're right.
Yeah.
He lost 3 on it then. Okay. So 4th and 4, so we're not going for it. Forget that idea.
Now we sort of switch here. Matt Booker is the long snapper, and Randy Swank moves over into the guard position where Booker came from.
Great kick. Kicks it right to Boucher, who is down by Clea right away. Clea hit him almost as he caught the ball, and 32 Ben Hynoski helped finish him off, but no gain on the play. And here you're watching a replay. Watch the kick, and you'll see how fast Clea got down there and got a hold of Boucher. Boucher's waiting. He kicks the ball, and he's about to make his turn, and boom, there's Clea, and he actually lost a yard when you look at where he caught it to where he ended up with it. So.
And you have to give the credit to Dave Shinsky because, without the high punt that Dave gets off, it'd be tough for Josh to even get down there to cover.
So ball's inside Mount Carmel area territory at the 47 as O'Hara looks to pass, doesn't find anybody right now. He does. He finds number 10, Bailey, and Bailey's going to go unless Pilarski can catch him, and Pilarski cannot catch him. It's a touchdown. O'Hara to number 10, Jonathan Bailey, a junior, and just like that, the Spartans have again struck and have brought the score to 4-20. And Mount Carmel area, although winning big in the game, I don't think right now is real thrilled with what's happening here in the second half of play. McCready will line up for the extra point.
Matt Medalis was definitely right there, and he did make a hit on right after the kid caught the ball. He did make a great hit on that kid, but for some reason he did keep his balance and turn downfield.
Okay, did he get that one or not? No, he didn't. Okay. When he goes on that far one, I'm not sure which one he did, but McCready misses the extra point this time for the Spartans, and that will let the score be Mount Carmel area 40, the Wyomissing Spartans 20, here at the 7:21 mark of the football game. And Mount Carmel area again just looked a little lethargic here in the second half. Had built up a big 34-0 lead at halftime, and have now tried to coast a little bit, it looks like. And the heat again taking its toll on both teams, although the Spartans do not look quite as wore out right now. They seem to have got some spark going. It's almost like a TV timeout here when they do that, when they take such amount of time all the time to do it. You don't normally see that in high school football.
I don't think it's for us either.
No, no. Hartman will tee it up. We'll see what they do. They went for the squib kick last time in an attempt to recover the fumble. 40-20 here in the fourth period.
Up in the front line, we have Damian Buggy, number 29. We have 48, Pete Kulik.
He looks like he's squibbing in here just by the way they're lining up, and he did. He squibs it over to the other side of the line, and number 58 for Big Red falls on it, Steve Polifka.
Yep.
And that's a great play by Polifka. That's exactly what you're supposed to do, and he did it. Got down to his knees, made sure it couldn't get under him or around him, scooped it up, and laid down. So again, the squib kick fails for the Spartans as they try to stir things up here in the fourth period. And Mount Carmel will take over 1st and 10 with good field position. The ball is going to be sitting around the Mount Carmel area, 47-yard line.
Now again, we're coming out with the team that we started off with at the beginning of the game. Now we're back to full complement. The only difference is we have Brown in the backfield instead of Ziegler.
This time the hands off to Veach. He cuts inside, continues moving,
face mask there.
Continues moving. The face mask call will be made, and he's down. They're not going to call it a fumble. He's down by contact on the ground, but you're going to tack on after a good 15-yard run. You're going to tack on a face mask penalty. Two umpires saw that one instantly. They threw the ball as soon as it happened. You're going to see a replay as it comes by. Watch him cut through the middle. You'll see the reach at his face mask. And that's what's going to cause the penalty. It'll move the ball down. The ball's sitting currently at the 38-yard line of the Spartans, and now it's going to set down when he's done marking it off at the 33-yard line.
I mean, those are things that, that was so obvious. It was right in the middle of the field. That some of them that the umpires don't see because they're blocked out or shield, but two of them, I mean, that was so obvious, that one.
Shinsky lines them up down at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10, Big Red. Gives it to Brown right up the middle, and the big guy pounds over to 30 down to the 27-yard line for Mount Carmel area. It'll bring up a 2nd and 5. Line. Pitches out to Veach. Veach goes to the left side and then does his usual cut back to the right, and he's going to go cut back right into the end zone. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. A 27-yard scamper by John Veach here at the 6-minute mark of the fourth period. And Mount Carmel area bounces out to a 46-point score with the extra point to follow. And boy, he made it easy on that one, didn't
he?
he?
Yeah, he did. We're not doing anything fancy. In this quarter we have Brown carrying the ball twice up the middle, and then all of a sudden that was only a quick pitch to Veach with the pulling guard out in front of him. And, John has that patented cutback across the grain in the field and just picks where he should go.
This time Dallas whacks it through, and he missed it again. I can't understand that. What kind of angle do I have to be on to notice what's going on here?
You have to be straight on it.
It must be, because that looked good. Which side did it go off of?
Everything looks good
What
to you.
side was that bad on?
That was off to the right.
Well, let's settle it like men. We only got a small platformer. Let's see who comes down.
Please, I don't want you walking around this thing. Just stay in one place where I put you.
Fine. All right. At the 6-minute mark of the fourth period, the score now, Mount Carmel area 46, and the Spartans of Wyomissing 20. And Mount Carmel area will be set to kick off here.
And I would assume that we're going to sort of give more people a rest here. We put Aaron Ziegler on the side there in that series for a little while. He's again going. Most of these guys are going both ways in this heat. That's got to take a toll on you. We put Dave Brown in the backfield that time as a fullback, but I'm sure with only 6 minutes left, the score is 46-20. We'll probably be seeing a few more numbers.
A long time between kickoffs here. I got to say that. They huddle forever over on their side all the time.
Oh yeah. Over here on the left side, I see new number 30. Mark Kovaleski is in. I'm trying to pick out as many different numbers as I possibly can.
Taylor with the ball. Taylor moves it up to about the 25-yard line where he stopped down there.
32, Ben Hynoski brings him down.
And he said 48 in the fray down there, Pete Kulik. So the Spartans will take over 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line, trailing by 26 points with 5 minutes and 53 seconds remaining here in the ball game.
Pretty much the whole.
My hair caught fire.
Really?
I'm not sure.
Well, your face is all red. I think that caught fire.
That's part of the stroke that I'm having. Hands it off to Roreese Johnson right in the middle, and Johnson will pick up barely a yard if he does. Should bring up a 2nd down and a long 9
we brought
for the Spartans.
We pretty much the whole.
Just learned from our stat guy, Wayne. 256 yards for
46.
246 yards for John Veach in the game today.
In the game, he's only 4 away from the school record.
Oh my goodness! I knew he was running around a lot, but I didn't realize he ran around that much. O'Hara hands it off right in the middle there to number 20, and 20 Desmond Boyd will take it up to about the 28-yard line, where it'll bring up 3rd down and 6 for the Spartans.
In the first half, and John sat out most of the second half at the beginning of the game, and he had 125 yards in the first quarter and part of the second quarter there. And so that means that he has 126 yards now.
If this was someone else, it would be we would have been talking about this the whole game. And unfortunately, what happens is we're so used to him, it didn't even seem like he had done that much.
I know.
And then boom, look what he's looking at here. O'Hara brings him up. He's going to go back to pass. Looking downfield, and he's got 24 down there free. McCready. And McCready's going to be brought down by number 32, Ben Hynoski. But he got away from him enough for the reception, and McCready takes the ball all the way down to the Mount Carmel area 32.
Now the thing of it is,
here's the replay of that, Wayne. You can see it was a perfect pass.
Yeah.
Look at the opening between McCready and Hynoski before Hynoski. Now Hynoski had a nice burst of speed there, though, didn't he? He can gain some yardage in a hurry, and he brings McCready down. But a long gain for the Spartans now in Mount Carmel area territory with 4:07 remaining in the ball game. O'Hara again back to pass, looking across the grain, and that time the big man, number 6, shows up for Mount Carmel area, and Vince Yasenchak reaches that big paw up and knocks it down.
Yeah, and he did. All he did was just drop straight back into a passing zone and blocked up the lane. But let's go back to John Veach here for a second. This type of game here reminds you of the Marion game 2 years ago, where he just outran everybody.
Yeah.
He had 200 and some yards that game too. And it wasn't anything. It was just a game you watch, and all of a sudden they tell you that how many yards he had, and it shocks you.
This time we hand it off to number 32, and Yasenchak tells Mr. Taylor that he's not going any further. It's going to be a loss on the play of about 4 yards for the Spartans, 5 yards maybe. It'll bring up a third down now and about 15 for the Spartans as Yasenchak reads the play, shoots the gap, and does exactly what you want your big linebacker to do. Brandon Brown goes into the ball game now for Big Red, number 66, and alongside him is Mark Kowaleski, 30. Mount Carmel area continuing to substitute different players in and out of this defensive lineup here with 3 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the ball game. Going to hand it off again to Taylor, going around the end, and Taylor's not going to get the first down. Going to bring up a fourth down and about 8.
Yeah, playing over on that left side there is Steve Polifkin. He strung that out the best that he possibly could. Just made sure that the runner did not get around the corner on him.
Fourth and 8. 3 minutes, 4 seconds remaining here in the ball game. Mount Carmel leading 46-20 for the Spartans. O'Hara brings them up, and this is pretty much going to have to be a pass play, I would think. They have not gained a lot of yardage in the ground. So I guess we're going to see O'Hara drop back. He drops the ball instead. He's still moving, and that's it. They will turn the ball over as O'Hara drops it on the fourth down conversion attempt. And Mount Carmel area will take over on downs. Ball sitting 29-yard line, it looks like, from where he'll take over at. And as we look in the backfield here, one thing we do not see is John Veach. He did not come back into the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. He's along the side there. And again, how many yards was he away from the record?
4.
4 yards away from the record. I'm wondering if we know that down there, or if we're just not going to worry about it right now.
Yeah, we got number 3, John Darrers, in the quarterback, so we got a whole new line in there. We keep Mike Lashinsky in as the fullback.
And Kowaleski is the tailback, and goes to the fullback, Lashinsky, right up the middle. It looks like the first team has had it for the game. They will sit down. Veach having one of his greatest efforts of his career, of many, many great efforts here today, falling 4 yards short of the all-time Mount Carmel area one-game rushing record. And, of course, Mr. Veach is just under 1,000 yards, and today just under 750 yards away from becoming the all-time leading rusher we talked about earlier. So this looks like a great season for the big guy, number 25. This time it goes to number 30, and Kowaleski will take the ball straight up the middle, very close to the first down. He should be about 2 yards short and bring up a 3rd and 8.
Number 83, the tight end, Scott Hutko. 66, Brandon Brown. 77, Joe Tom Cabbage.
Hands up the middle that time to Lashinsky.
I don't know if we mentioned it that John Darrer, number 3, is in quarterbacking now at this point.
Darrer came in for Shinsky in that last series of plays. There's 54 seconds, 53 seconds counting down remaining in the game. Mount Carmel area is going to notch a victory here. And in the meantime, Coach Brennan's going to get as many kids in there and get them as dirty as he can.
Number 60, Jesse Vogler's in. Steve Polifka, 58, in for guard position.
Quarterback sneak, and he's going to pick the first down up. as Dara did a nice job on a quarterback sneak. And it'll bring up a first down for Big Red as a whole host of other new Tornado players now running into the ball game.
67, Jason Dillow. '74, Dave Urbanovich.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. The clock runs out here at Spartan Stadium. Mount Carmel area off to a good start in the year 2000, where they take the Wyomissing Spartans by a score of 46-20. Well-played game by Mount Carmel area, a little bit sluggish in that second half. And again, they had built up a big lead in the first half, so not much to complain about there on one of the most brutally hot days that they have played, at least in our memory here, in an afternoon game. So a couple of good things again. Veach running for almost the one-game record, falling 4 yards short, 240, was it
46 yards or so?
46 yards or so rushing. So a great breakout game. Shinsky passing the ball fantastic. A core of receivers making some great catches. So offensively clicking on all cylinders. Defensively in the first half, I mean, throwing a complete shutout at the Spartans' way, and they were not in the game at all in the first half.
Oh, no.
Although the second half, they looked a little better.
It was a little different. This was a good test, although you didn't want to test your team, of course, under these conditions with this heat. But, these games are always different now than what your scrimmages are. The first one is a controlled scrimmage, and the second one is sort of a controlled scrimmage. It's game conditions, but I don't think you're allowed to blitz on in the second scrimmage. These games are now down to the wire. Either you win them or you lose them. This is where it's at. And, there's always a different attitude. There's a different gameplay, a different game face a kid gets on here. And sometimes you don't know who's going to show up. Coach comes in, and he's got to be pleased at what he saw today.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he is, and I'm also sure he's the kind of guy that's going to have a few pointers on Monday.
Oh, definitely.
After that opening game. But all in all, a well-played football game. Mount Carmel came out in stunning fashion and really ran the score up in that first half, hung on in the second half, scored a couple of touchdowns there, and put 46 points up. So the future bodes well going into the next game. They clicked on all cylinders. We saw no injuries, and that's what we like to be able to leave a game and say that there were no injuries on our side of the ball. Of course, the Spartans, looks like they lost one player to a knee injury. We do not see how that turned out. He never returned to the game and left very early in the first period. So we look down at the field. We're not going to fool too much here because I'm going to probably just die pretty soon. But we look down on next Friday evening where we play, as we talked about, an old foe. The Panthers of Panther Valley will be in the Silver Bowl at a 7 o'clock start. So we wish and hope to see all of you down there. And remember, Supper Club Thursday night, where we'll recap this game and look at the Panthers of Panther Valley on Thursday night. That's tomorrow night as you watch this program on a Wednesday. So for WKMC TV, I am Warren Altamar.
Wayne Brokenshire.
Good afternoon.